Okay, so here's how we set up our paper every single day. You put your first and last name in the upper right-hand corner. You put the period in the upper right-hand corner. And then on the top, you put in a box, Chapter 3, Point 3, that means it's Section 3, page number 100 to 101, numbers 1 to 45, odd only. When it's the odd only, it means it's really important, and you're going to get to check all your answers right away. The answers are in the back of the book, so you're going to self-check, and you're going to recorrect tonight. So I want you to struggle through tonight doing these 6 lines. I want you to see if your answers are right. I want you to bring in good things to me tomorrow. Make sure that you do a good job. The struggle is important. It makes your brain strong. Now the first problem is very straightforward, and I thought it might be cool to show it next to each other so you could see a comparison, but it's your choice whether you want to work vertically or if you want to work, bless you, horizontally for the checks. So the first question, number 5, we're going to jump to number 5, skip to number 5. You do numbers 1 and 3 on your own when you have time. A minus 6 equals 13. A minus 6 equals 13. So we draw our line down, equal sign on the line. We see what's being done to the variable A. They're subtracting 6, so we're going to add 6 on both sides. 13 plus 6 is 19. We bring the A down. These two 0 paired out. They're gone. Equal sign on the line. Our solution statement, A equals 19. Now for the check, the first line of the check is the question. A minus 6 equals 13. Two things change in the second line. You substitute in the 19 because you say A equals 19, so you put it right there. And then you put a baby question mark on top of the equal sign because we're not sure for sure yet that it's right. But now we do the math. 19 minus 6 is 13. 13 equals 13. That's the reflexive property. Check. Number 7. Number 7 is a really rich problem. Lots of good stuff happening in number 7. Okay, so the first thing is, the question is negative 14 equals k plus 6. Again, you draw your line down. You realize this side is not important right now, and you think of what's being done to the variable k. You got to undo that. They're adding 6, so you're going to subtract 6. So you subtract 6 on both sides. Then we put the long line across. We're going to nickname that frosting because later on we're going to call this a cake analogy. Hopefully it's as easy as cake to do. 14 is negative. Subtracting 6 is negative. They're both negative terms. We know circle, label, choose, use. That means we realize that these are two negatives getting added together. So this comes up with a bigger negative, negative 20. Another way to say it is they're both negative, so you're going to add them together. 14 plus 6 is 20. Keep the sign of a negative. Negative 20 equals k. For your check, you write the same question. Negative 14 equals k plus 6. I keep trying to put my finger in there, and it's so hard to not see because I can't look at my finger, so I'm just going to keep my finger out of the way. Negative 14 equals negative 20 plus 6. Well, now you're seeing this, and you're realizing, okay, this is a negative, and this is a positive, so it's going to be different, subtract bigger. 20 minus 6 is 14. The team that has the most players is the negative, so you snail trail down, you sign trail down, negative 14. Negative 14 equals negative 14, check. Now we're going to jump to one with a fraction. Please jump to number 17. I'm going to get it set up. I'm going to freeze it there for you guys, and I'll use the pointer. Let's try this. Okay, so number 17, the question is, Q plus 5/9 equals 1/6. So you draw your line down. They're adding 5/9, so you're going to subtract 5/9 on both sides. But you can't subtract different denominators, so you have to find the LCD. Between 6 and 9, the least common denominator is 18. So you have to do 2 sets of conversions. 6 times 3 is 18, so 1 times 3 is 3. 9 times 2 is 18, so 5 times 2 is 10. Now looking at these, this is a positive term, but you're subtracting this term. So this is like a negative term. Different, subtract, bigger. 10 minus 3 is 7. The team that has the most players is this team. So you bring down the negative sign. Negative 7/18. Here's the check. You write the question. But the second line of the question, you want to immediately change it to the least common denominators. So we already knew that 5/9 was equal to 10/18. We already knew that 1/6 was equal to 3/18. So they substitute right underneath in their form with 18ths. If you're not sure, you can do the math again and say 9 times 2 is 18, 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 3 is 18, 1 times 3 is 3. Now this is a negative term, this is a positive term. Again, I'm using different, subtract, bigger. 10 minus 7 is 3. The bigger team now is the positives. So the positive is the sign that comes down to this. Positive 3/18 equals 3/18. Check. The last question, they're going to ask you to convert it from words. So this is an important note. And I'm just doing this first part. 10 more than a number C. 10 more than a number C is the question. Well, the word more means to add. Anything that comes after than, don't move. Don't move. Anything that comes after the word than, you write it first. Is equal sign. So this translates to C plus 10 equals 3. Then you do the 6 lines. Thanks, you guys. Great job. Bye.